Jude Bellingham allegedly told Thomas Tuchel he'll walk away from the World Cup unless he gets the captain's armband permanently after his heroics at the Estadio Azteca. This wasn't just some post-match emotion. This wasn't a misunderstanding caught on camera. This wasn't the media spinning drama out of nothing. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen in the middle of a World Cup campaign. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. Sources close to the camp say Bellingham refused to join the post-match team huddle, heading straight to the dressing room alone while his teammates celebrated on the pitch. And the worst still hasn't come out. Over the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly what happened and why this turns England's World Cup upside down. When your star midfielder threatens to leave mid-tournament days after scoring twice in one of football's most hostile venues, it's not just another dressing room disagreement. This is about leadership, ego, and hierarchy colliding at the worst possible moment. And behind the scenes, it's worse than it looks. Here's what happened. It all started in the narrow concrete corridor beneath the stands at Estadio Azteca, roughly 40 minutes after the final whistle of England's opening 3-1 victory over Mexico. Jude Bellingham, still wearing the captain's armband after his man-of-the-match display, allegedly approached Thomas Tuchel as the manager spoke with his assistant coaches. Witnesses report Bellingham gestured to the armband fastened around his bicep and made his case directly, his voice firm but not shouting. Tuchel reportedly placed a hand on Bellingham's shoulder, attempting to defuse the situation. But Bellingham stepped back, shook his head, and allegedly said something to the effect of, "Then we have a problem," before turning toward the dressing room. The atmosphere shifted immediately. Coaching staff exchanged glances, and the usual post-match buzz went silent. Declan Rice reportedly witnessed the exchange from several meters away and followed Bellingham inside moments later. Nobody saw it coming. But this didn't come out of nowhere. However, the real problem had started days earlier during the pre-tournament camp in Colorado. Harry Kane's muscle injury in the final friendly created uncertainty, yet Tuchel publicly insisted it was temporary. Sources close to the squad suggest Bellingham believed he deserved the armband on merit after his Champions League heroics and dominant season at Real Madrid, not just as a stand-in. Tactical meetings allegedly saw Bellingham pushing for a more aggressive pressing system, while Kane's return would likely restore Tuchel's preferred counter-attacking shape. On one side, younger players like Kobbie Mainoo and Anthony Gordon reportedly admire Bellingham's conviction and believe leadership should reflect current contribution. On the other, senior figures including Jordan Pickford and John Stones allegedly expressed concern privately that undermining Harry Kane sends the wrong message about loyalty. And in the middle, Declan Rice reportedly attempted to mediate, urging Bellingham to wait and trust the process. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for the end. The dressing room erupted with polarized opinions once the story leaked. Bellingham's supporters point to his Azteca masterclass as proof he earned the right to lead. Kane loyalists condemn what they view as entitlement, arguing Bellingham should respect the hierarchy that made England contenders. Thomas Tuchel's coaching staff allegedly advised him to address the situation immediately and privately, while the FA fears the leak transforming into an international media spectacle. Social media exploded. Some defend Bellingham's ambition. Others want him benched for disrespecting the captain. The international press, especially in Mexico and the United States, seized on the story as evidence of English arrogance and internal chaos. Here's where things become even more complicated. England faces Costa Rica in 5 days, then their final group match against Canada. Kane's medical team is reportedly assessing whether he can return for Costa Rica, creating a ticking clock on Tuchel's decision. Now Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he reinstates Harry Kane immediately, he risks alienating his most informed player and sending a message that performance takes a backseat to reputation, potentially fracturing dressing room morale. But if he delays Kane's return or strips him of the armband, he undermines his captain, invites media chaos, and sets a dangerous precedent that star players can negotiate leadership roles through ultimatums. What almost nobody noticed was this. Sources claim Jude Bellingham reportedly left the armband in his locker after the confrontation rather than handing it to Tuchel or Harry Kane, a symbolic gesture noticed by kit staff. Fresh reports suggest audio of the tunnel exchange may exist, though nothing has surfaced yet. This is the kind of internal fracture that destroys tournaments before knockout rounds even begin. And look, this is far from over. This is the information circulating so far. Over the next few hours, new details should trickle out, and they could turn this whole story upside down. So for you, should Bellingham get the armband permanently after his Azteca heroics? Or does Harry Kane's experience and loyalty make him untouchable as captain? Let us know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss the next major development, subscribe now and turn on notifications. Because when this fully breaks, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last.